Welcome back to Tech Lounge, and if you're new here, please consider joining the family by hitting the subscribe button below. So I've been contemplating getting a Raspberry Pi 5 for the channel, but I came across my old Raspberry Pi 3. So in today's episode, we'll be setting up the Raspberry Pi 3, and in future episodes, we'll be doing some really cool Raspberry Pi projects together. Until that time, we actually need to upgrade. So I hope you're as excited as I am for today's episode. Let's get to the video. This is a close-up look of the Raspberry Pi 3 board, literally a credit card-sized computer that fits in the palm of your hand. Starting off at the top, we have the multiple GPIO pins where you can connect different sensors and electronics for any creative and innovative ideas that you might have. In the middle of the board, we have the two heat sinks. These just help regulate the temperature of the board during operation. At the bottom of the board, on the far left, we have the micro USB port for power, HDMI, and a audio jack if that's something that you still need. On the right side of the board, we have the Ethernet connectivity and 4 USB ports where you can connect your mouse and keyboard. At the bottom of the board, we have the micro SD card slot. The micro SD card is where we'll be installing the operating system of the Pi and where it will be booting up from. Now we can move on to the next section of the video and install the operating system of the Pi. Okay, so the first step, we'll need to install the micro SD card into the computer. If your computer doesn't accept micro SD cards, you can just get an adapter for it. Okay, so the next step for us will be to download the Raspberry Pi operating system. So the best way to do this is to head over to the Raspberry Pi website and download the Raspberry Pi imager. I'll leave the link in the description below. But once you've clicked on the link and you land on the page, this is what you're going to see. So if you scroll down, you'll see the download options. So you can download for Windows, download for Mac OS, download for Linux. You'll just download whichever version will work for you. I'm going with Windows, and the download has started. So once the download is complete, I'll open up the application and then we can start downloading the operating system. Okay, so once the Raspberry Pi application is done downloading, this is what it's going to look like after you've installed it and opened the application. So the first option will be devices. This is where you're going to pick the device that you have. So I have the Raspberry Pi 3. That's the version I'm going to go with. Just click next, and then you are then prompted to choose an operating system. You can just Google which operating system works best for your device. I know for mine it's the OS 32-bit. So I'll select that. Then this is the SD card that you mounted into your computer. It should pick up over here. You can just select your SD card and click next. Give it a host name. I'll leave it at Pi 3. Localization information, okay, it's still the same for me. Username, I'll leave it at bootspy. Password, I'll leave it empty. If you have Wi-Fi, you can actually just input the password over here if you want to. Just click next. Enable SSH. I'll leave that off for now. And right. Okay, so it's telling me I need to format it. Let me do that. Okay, we're done. So it's currently writing the OS, the operating system, on the SD card. Once it's done, we'll eject the SD card and put it back in the Raspberry Pi and hopefully boot it up. Now the fun begins. I can't really remember why I recorded this part, but I thought I'll leave it in for cool cinematics. Enjoy. Okay, so another cool thing about the Raspberry Pi is that you can buy additional accessories to customize it. You can add on fans, you can buy different cases on the website. So I'm just going to reinstall the SD card and hopefully it will boot up if we've done everything correctly. I've plugged in the Raspberry Pi and it's initiated the boot up. So this is how the boot up screen looks. The initial boot up will take a couple of minutes, but thereafter it will be much quicker. So I'll just wait for it to finish booting and then we'll see how the user interface looks like. The Raspberry Pi is done booting up. This is what the user interface looks like. Just a word of caution, this version of the Raspberry Pi 3 comes with a quad-core CPU, 1 gig of RAM, and built-in wireless connectivity. So don't expect to be doing any quantum computing on this device. The best use cases are connecting sensors, LED lights, motors, relays, and robotic components. But in future videos, we'll be doing some Raspberry Pi projects together, just so you get familiar with all of this. I'll see you back at the lounge. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to hit the like button. I'll also leave a link to the Raspberry Pi website in the description if you want to pick one up for yourself or read more on the specifications. See you on the next one. Cheers.